Hey Cricketers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kerri. Today I'm going to show you how to take this beverage dispenser from drab to fab. I'm going to be using some really cool vinyl that I got from TeckWrap and a design from Creative Fabrica to make this into an awesome summer beverage dispenser. If you want to make this same project at home, all you'll need is the beverage dispenser, which I got from Five Below. I cannot believe that this thing was only $5. You'll also need a Cricut machine. I'm using the Cricut Maker for this project, but you could also use the Explore Air 2 or the Explore 3. It might be difficult to do this with the Cricut Joy because you're so limited on the cutting size. TeckWrap sent me a bunch of really cool vinyls to try out, so I'm going to use some of them today. I can't decide which one I want to use. This one is a glow-in-the-dark peach yellow pink, which I love already, and then this one is an opal white. So it's kind of like purple bluish. I'm thinking maybe the yellow and pink one since it's summer. TeckWrap also sent me this bubble-free chrome pack, and it has all kinds of amazing looking vinyls. So I think I'm going to do multiple colors in this project. So they have a green one, red, black, burgundy or brown. Ooh, this purple is pretty. Reddish. These just feel like paper. I'm not sure if this is vinyl or what. Not sure what that one is. Another red. Ooh, I like this pink. And these colors. So I think if I combine some of these with that other holographic one, I'll be able to make such a cool looking summer water dispenser. In addition to the adhesive vinyls, you'll also need some transfer tape. I'm going to be testing out the transfer tape by TeckWrap. I've never used it before. It's still sealed, so I'm curious to see how this holds up compared to the kind that I normally use. And they also sent me a toolkit. Let's see what's in here. I love how all of their stuff is like holographic and really pretty looking. Ooh, sparkly mermaid. My daughter would love this. So this is a pin pen. And a set of tweezers. Really pretty. This must be the scraper. And that's everything in the toolkit. Before you get started with the project, you always need to clean your blank. So I would recommend using isopropyl alcohol and a lint-free wipe. I use a coffee filter because it's lint-free and it won't leave any kind of residues on your project. You'll also need the trimmer to cut your vinyl out. I love this Cricut trimmer. And those are all the materials that you'll need to make this custom project. Let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is clean my blank with isopropyl alcohol and the coffee filter. You don't need a lot, so I like to just rip off like a quarter of it and save the rest. Get a little bit on there and clean it where you want your decal to go. Then while that dries, I'll grab my ruler and we can measure how big we need to make our decal. I want my design to be about 4 inches wide by 4 inches high. So 4 by 4. This is a design that I want to put on the front of my beverage dispenser. It says, "The sun, sand, and a drink in my hand." I found it from Creative Fabrica. They have a great deal going on. It's $4.99 a month, billed as $59 a year. I used to pay $29 a month for this same subscription, so this is a great deal. And if you're still on the fence about whether or not you want to sign up for the subscription, you can try a free 1-month trial. I have a link down below in my video description. This is what it will look like. Here's the one for the free trial, and here's the one for the discounted subscription. If you click on the free trial, it will bring you to this page, where you can sign up for free and download 10 items after 1 month, or the 10th download you can renew at just $9 a month. Or if you want to pay all up front, you can get a much better deal at $4.99 a month. You can also cancel at any time, no questions asked. If you have their all-access subscription that gives you unlimited downloads to everything on their site, all you have to do is click this big green download button. Then in the bottom left-hand corner pops up a zip file, so double-click on that. Once you get to this page, it gives you a couple different file options that you can download. There's an AutoCAD file, which we don't want. We don't want this either. This is a PNG, and this is actually the SVG, even though it says HTML document. If we double click it and then right click and save as, you can see right here the file type, it's the SVG. You want to download that SVG file and save it into whatever folder on your computer you want where you'll remember where it is, and click save. I always like to download the SVG because it breaks the design up into different pieces so then you can move them around, which is especially helpful if you want to make things different colors. If you download the PNG, it makes it one big piece where you can't break it apart. So if you're given the option between an SVG or a PNG or a JPEG, always try to go with the SVG. And then from here, we can move over to Cricut Design Space where we can upload this image. So you want to click Upload, Upload Image, Browse, and then select the SVG and click Open. And then click Upload. Select it and click Add to Canvas. So now I want to shrink it down to be under 4 by 4 inches, or approximately there. And I'm going to show you what I meant with the PNG because that's how I figured this out a moment ago. So this was the PNG file I uploaded at first. I'm just going to shrink it down so we can work with it because right now it's enormous. So you see right here how there is no ungroup button. I want my picture to be different colors. So I want the sun to be one color and the drink to be one color. And right now I can't ungroup it. But if we click on this SVG, you can see each piece is its own piece. So I can click on this drink right here and I can hide it. Or I can change the color. So I don't want to use this PNG file because I want to make the sun and the drink a different color. So I'm just going to delete it. This is all grouped together right now, so I need to ungroup it. Now I want to make the sun be one color and the drink be that same color as the sun. So I'm going to take this and just make it like yellow for now. And same with the sun, I'm going to change the color. And then the rest of the words can be left black. I also want to connect all these pieces together by welding them. So just highlight the sun and click Combine, Weld. And then the drink is already one piece. So now I want to move this and this out of the way so that I can highlight all of this. Actually, I need to move the sun a little further. So I can highlight all of this and weld this together. And what that does is it makes it one big piece instead of each individual letter. So I'm going to have my Cricut cut these ones out and then this piece out. So now we're ready to cut the design out. So we just have to go over and click Make It. You can see Design Space breaks this up into two different mats. So we have this one with our words and then the one with our pictures. There's a little button right here where it asks you if you want to mirror your image. We do not want to mirror our image because we're not working with a heat transfer vinyl. We're working with an adhesive vinyl, or also called a permanent vinyl, so you don't need to mirror your image. And it's at this point where I like to cut out my vinyl because you can see the exact size. So I'm going to do like 4 3/4 by 4 1/4. Grab your Cricut trimmer and your vinyl. Swing the arm open. I'm just going to do 4.5 by 4.5 to make it easy. Now I need to stick this to the upper left-hand corner of my standard grip mat. There's a film on here. Wonder, do I peel this off? This vinyl has a protective film on it, so when you're ready to cut it, you want to take this off. I've never seen any kind of adhesive vinyl that has this before, so that's definitely something to make note of if you're working with TeckWrap Vinyl. And then this piece I need to cut. Let's see, what I like to do sometimes is rotate these images so I can use less vinyl. So I'm going to cut a 2-inch strip by 4.5. So for the sun in the drink, I want to use this new holographic vinyl. This looks so cool. I'm wondering if I should have maybe done it the other way, like did the words with this one. Kind of wrinkled it a little bit when I was peeling off the paper because I thought that was part of it, but it was actually the vinyl. So when I cut it out, I'll cut on this side. So 2 inches. By 4.5. Then we have to remember to take off that protective film. Stick this in the upper left-hand corner. It doesn't matter which side you cut on your Cricut mat. So what I like to do is put one design on one side and then just flip my mat around and do the other one on the other side. I need to get this protective layer off though. I'm not seeing it. There we go. Super thin protective film. So now we're going to go back over to Design Space and make sure you select the image that you want to cut. So you got to make sure you click that first one with the words. So click the black screen and we're going to click Continue. I'm going to be working with vinyl. I'm going to change the pressure to more just because I've never worked with this vinyl before. I probably should be doing a test cut, but whatever, let's hope this works. Then we just have to slide it into our machine. So you want to click the blinking double arrow. That slides the mat in. And then when this Cricut button, the C starts to blink. When your machine stops cutting and the double arrow starts blinking again, then you can click and unload the mat. And this is what it looks like when it's done. Now we can flip our mat around and load it again by pushing that blinking double arrow. And then push the blinking Cricut C button to begin the cut. Now it's time to weed our project, which means getting rid of the vinyl that we don't want until we're left with the design that we do want. This vinyl is weeding really easily, so I am pleasantly surprised to see that. A lot of times when I try out new vinyls, they don't work good, which is why I rarely use anything other than Oracle 651, but I actually really like this vinyl. Not only is it really pretty and cool looking, but it's also easy to weed, and it feels like it's pretty thick and durable, so hopefully it will last a really long time. Make sure you go slow and make sure you don't lose any of these little pieces. Like I almost just lost a ray from my son. I think this would be a great time to try out that new pin pen. This is what the TeckWrap pin pen looks like. It's so pretty. And at the tip, it's like the pointiest little needle, which is great for when you're trying to get these tiny, intricate pieces out. All you have to do is stab it, and then I like to poke it to something sticky. We have everything all weeded. The next thing that we need to do is grab our transfer tape and transfer this over to our beverage dispenser. So I'm just going to open up this brand new roll and hopefully it works great. I really like how this transfer tape has the grid lines on it. A lot of times that helps when you want to get something transferred with precision. So just grab yourself a pair of scissors and cut out however much transfer tape you need. I like to put my transfer tape over the design and cut out just a little bit wider than I need. Transfer tape is also reusable, so you can reuse it over and over again before throwing it out, which will make your transfer tape last forever. And if you're wondering where to store your used transfer tape, I like to store mine on my old Cricut mats that don't work very good anymore. So take your transfer tape and peel off the paper part and throw this white part away. And then I like to touch it down in the center and then work my way out. This is that new squeegee they sent me in the toolkit. The best transfer tape is the kind that peels the whole design right up, which this is doing fantastically. Perfect. This beverage dispenser has a handle on the back, which works really good for keeping it from rolling around. Many times when you work with something round like a wine glass or a tumbler, it has a tendency to roll around, which makes it difficult, but this handle makes it stay in place. If you were doing something that wasn't staying in place, I would recommend taking 2 lint rollers and wedging one on each side, and that keeps it nice and still. So I'm just going to eyeball it and put it in the center. And just like with the transfer tape, I'm going to put it down in the center and then work my way out. Grab your squeegee tool and just smooth it down flat. When you're peeling up your transfer tape, I don't peel it straight up. I always try to fold it all the way flat back towards myself and then just peel it slowly. Sometimes if you're using a transfer tape that's not very good, it'll be way too sticky, and then the transfer tape doesn't want to come off of the vinyl, but this is actually a really good transfer tape. It's not sticking to the design too much, and it was sticky enough where it took the design off of the paper. All right, we got the first part done. Now we can do the sun and the drink. So I'm just gonna grab my scissors and cut these out from each other. So the sun will be one piece and the drink will be another piece. And then using that same piece of transfer tape I just used, I'm just gonna cut it in half, make it a little easier to work with. One thing about reusing transfer tape is sometimes it gets like curled up and a little crinkly and annoying to use. So if it gets to be too difficult to work with, you can just grab a new piece. But I think that I'll be able to reuse this one just fine. Stick it over that, smooth it down. I'm just going to line it up down here. Grab my scraper and smooth it flat. And same thing with the sun. Carefully peel it back. And there we have it. This is what it looks like with the vinyl on and it empty. I am so in love with this pinkish, yellowish holographic vinyl from TeckWrap. If I could redo this project, I would have just did the whole thing in that vinyl and not the two different colors. The metallic looks cool, but not as cool as this one. If you guys are looking for a yummy recipe to fill up your beverage dispenser with, I tried a new recipe this weekend for a Father's Day cookout we had, and it was a big hit. Everybody loved it. I mixed a bottle of this Crayon Tropical mixed by Ocean Spray. I mixed that with one of those big cans of pineapple juice and a splash of Sprite. And then inside, I cut up a lemon and some strawberries just for decoration. And I had to refill that thing twice. On the side, I also had a big bottle of coconut rum, which was fantastic. I can't wait to use this at my next party. I love how it came out. That TeckWrap Vinyl really took this project to the next level. I'm gonna have a hard time using plain solid colored vinyl now when I know that I have this holographic color changing vinyl.